Now let's talk about one-click design. One-click design is a very nice feature we have in Comosys. And to explain that, let's recall that design is basically an iterative procedure. When I say that, what I mean is that you need to you need to load your model, obviously. You need to put the loads in, you need to create the load combinations and this and that. But then you need to run the model, and then you need to check the model, whether some elements are failing or not. And if some elements are failing, then you need to design them to see what section would have made them pass. And then let's say these are whatever 60 odd elements. Let's say when you design them, say 55 of them are actually they need to be changed. So what you would need to do is then go in and change those 55 elements. But the moment you do that, now the analysis results are invalid. So you need to run the program again, run the analysis again. And this time when you do that, now something different will happen because the sections have changed. And maybe not 55, but maybe another 25 elements would need to be changed. And then you would come back and unlock the model, change the elements again, and then run it again. And you need to keep doing this iterative process until you get to a point where basically the elements are not changing anymore. Now, this is what I meant when I said that design is an iterative process. Now, in Comosys, we have something called one-click design. Now, what this does is when you press that, it'll take you through those cycles automatically. What you need to have is these design restrictions, which we just talked about. So I've created 3 design restrictions, one for the beams, one for the columns, and one for everything else, which is basically the horizontal bracings and the vertical bracings. And I've told it that for the beams, your design restriction is you can try the INP section, you can try the HEA section. There's no need to check priority and this and that. So I've got my design restrictions assigned to the elements, beams for the beams, columns for the columns and all that. And for the horizontal bracings and vertical bracing, I've assigned the 3rd one. And now I want to do one-click design. And what it will do is it's going to run the analysis, see whichever elements are failing or over-designed or under-designed, whichever way. They need to be as close to 1, the ratios, as possible. And then it will automatically change all those sections which need to be changed. Run the analysis again, change the sections again, and keep doing that until it converges to a final solution without you having to do anything. All you'll be doing is just watching these things happen on the screen. So let me just go in there and say one-click design. When I do that, it says what is the maximum number of design cycles you want. I can give a large number, but 10 is okay. Basically, I want it to stop after 10 cycles. It could stop after 3 cycles, 4 cycles, but I don't want it to go beyond 10 cycles. So I say okay, and now I want you to please keep your eye on the screen and see that these elements will start changing with every design cycle. I'm going to say okay, and it says project is going to be saved. I want to do yes. So you see the profiles are changing now on the screen, and it keeps going through these design cycles. If I go all the way back, it's finished now. By the way, it's done I think 9 or 10 cycles. So if I go to the first cycle, end of the first cycle, it says that, let's go to the end. It says at the end of the first cycle, 62 profiles were modified of the slot. And the weight of the structure at that point was 3.6, it fell to 3.63 tons. Then it did another analysis, design cycle 2. And at the end of that cycle, let's go to the end of that cycle. This time, 28 profiles were modified and the weight fell down a little more. Then it continued doing it for another cycle. And this time, 21 profiles were modified. And then you can keep going on basically all the way till the end until you get to a point where 0 profiles were modified. And this was the final final weight of the structure. It converged to about 3.5 tons for the total structure. So this one-click design is a very nice feature which allows you to use the design restrictions for the elements, and it makes you go and find solutions, optimal solutions. Then you can further refine them, of course, and you might need to do that depending on the particular geometry which you have. You might need to force some elements to be similar to others in this and that. But this procedure basically allows you to very quickly go through the design process through a one-click design button.